Okay. I was like,
it's 220 bartenders.
Is it 220
probably.
bartenders mentoring kids right
No.
now?
Many of them act like kids.
Okay, that makes sense.
There you go. That sounds about right.
You haven't lived until you've had to tell a grown adult why it's time to go to bed because they have things to do in the morning. It's like, come on, sweetie, it's 4:30. Yeah. You got to get on the bus tomorrow. Like, head back to your cabin.
Whiskey left.
Put your pants on. It's breakfast.
You don't have to go to sleep. You just have to go lay down.
The sun's barely up. No, I'm not going to bed. No, Jesus Christ.
That's got to hit home for you.
Yeah. You see it, yeah.
Yeah, I have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. And
you guys halvesied the whole bottle. How does that happen? There's this thing, halvesing. It's a half a shot, but if you do half a shot down to the whole bottle's gone, it's like, what does it matter?
Well, it's like
just take full shots.
It's like that, the Arrested Development bit of like, if you open a bottle of wine, you have to finish it because otherwise it'll turn to alcohol.
It's awesome.
But yeah, like all those programs, they get people from all over the place, and that's been an awesome thing too. Where I feel like now that even kind of the bigger like mixology bars are chilling out a little bit, it's making the whole thing more accessible. Where, I mean, like you guys said, even like a corporate environment like Yard House, like they're still paying attention to the ingredients of cocktails and like doing things. I don't think there needs to be like as much of a differentiation. Like it should be like food. You know what I mean? Like there are people who can make like really incredible like avant-garde elevated things, but that's a small minority.
Right.
And the rest of people can just cook. It's like you can cook or you can't cook.
Yeah, you take ingredients and you do what you can with them. You take your creative aspect and you turn it into something.
Yeah. I think it's more about care for quality and technique than it is about necessarily like where you are.
Right.
And then like measured expectations, because I've definitely had like baby bartenders chat with me and they're like, oh yeah, man, I went into like such and such bar and I ordered a Manhattan and they couldn't even fucking make it. And I'm like, dude, that's like a sports bar. Like, you're an asshole.
Right. You should ask for a beer.
Right.
Like, or a shot of whiskey. Like, calm down.
Speaking of.
So, So, okay, here's a name. Do you know who Tyler is? Tyler Woodard?
Squirrely Tyler,
yeah. So he's kind of like a baby bartender, correct?
Tyler is like one of my favorite baby bartenders.
Yeah.
Tyler is actually taking over for me at Crudo Nudo.
Yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
And Tyler is the one who will be opening the bar for me since I'll probably be late today. So what's up, Tyler?
Oh, Tyler, what's
Go,
up?
Tyler.
Sounds like you're on
Shout
the way
out
up,
team
dog.
player.
Yeah. But that's like, so he is just like the perfect vision of a baby bartender.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he knows.
Yep.
He knows how much he doesn't know.
Right.
He's surrounding himself with people who know more than him.
Right.
And is like an extremely hard worker and like an extremely good sport.
Yeah.
And like it's that kind of like
That's it.
That's your ideal
Exactly.
baby bartender
the
right
best.
there.
That's
That's what
best.
you want.
Yeah.
You want someone hungry for knowledge
Yeah.
that works hard and wants to improve their game.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's like one of those dudes who like wants to be told everything once, but never needs to be told anything twice.
Right.
Okay.
Where
Yeah,
it's where it's like, okay, show me the right way, and it's like, player is just wiping down the bar, and he's like, I know, but show me how you want it done.
Love
And then like it's that way every time.
Cheers. Hey, Tyler.
I want to be
cheers,
friends
buddy.
with this guy.
Tyler Woodard,
Yeah,
right?
like Squirrely Tyler.
Squirrely Tyler.
Squirrely Tyler.
Shout out, Tyler.
Shout out.
So, I met Tyler. He worked at Yard House. He was a cook there at the time.
Oh, really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Tyler was a cook there at the time, and then he was talking to me about bartending at the time. But we had that thing where I knew Tyler from working there, but I happened to be off that day, and he happened to be off at the same time. So we ended up sitting there at happy hour for a good 4 hours and just becoming best friends that day. Talking about the edge of the universe, and then right here, but we took it that far. It was like talking about everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he was talking about making money. He wanted to do some different things, so he went over to P.F. Chang's, and then next thing you know, he's bartending at Twist. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it was like he figured it out. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I've just been watching him the whole time. Like, he's just highly involved. Basically opened his mind up to this whole thing.
And
which
he's
is really
got
cool.
he's got that like tenacity, you know what I mean?
He does.
And that's like such an important thing too, to be able to like kind of set your eyes on something and be like, yo, I'm going to do this, and like I'm going to make it happen. Another buddy of mine, this dude Greg White, cites that as like one of his most valuable things about him. He's like, yeah, I've been told that like I just have the capacity to like set my mind on something and just kind of like keep pushing at it until I'm doing it. And then now he's opening a place actually like a couple doors down from Crudo at like Town Center Cold Pressed Roastery, and doing crazy like high concept coffee and tea and kombucha,
that's cool.
like
That's him?
related cocktails. Yeah,
just-
and it's so cool.
What is Crudo Nudo?
It's a question I've been answering once a week for about a year now.
Elevator pitch.
Yeah, right. So Crudo is an awesome restaurant. Eric Nelson is the chef and owner, like Portsmouth native, went around and has cooked all over the place, like garnered like a really solid like set of experiences, and is like an incredibly talented chef. And then was basically given an opportunity to open a place sort of just doing the food that he's really passionate about, which are like very carefully prepared raw proteins, really dope homemade pasta, and then like cooked proteins done like on charcoal, like on like a yakitori.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Right on.
the best octopus I've ever had in my life.
Oh, wow.
Working that job, I have eaten like so much more than my fair share of Wagyu beef. Like, and also the real shit, like A5 from Japan, like Texas, Australia. Like, sorry, player, like that's not the real stuff.
Right.
But yeah, so it's an awesome restaurant. They're actually, my exit is like coinciding with them moving into a new concept, which I think is less a new concept and more like a full realization.
Of Crudo Nudo.
Yeah, of what they wanted to be. Eric is really, really inspired by like the cuisine and the style of Spain. Okay. So it's going to be moving to like proper tapas. Like, you know, there's like tapas where it's like, oh, cool. Instead of like an 8-ounce steak, it's a 3-ounce steak. And I
Right.
two,
We'll just make the plates smaller
yeah, exactly.
$15. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and call it tapas.
Yeah, a third of the food for half the cost. Tapas. But he's gonna do like actual tapas,
Right.
And then Squirrely Tyler, and then our friend Kendra
Squirrely Tyler, I love it.
are gonna be. He's a squirrely dude. They'll be kind of taking over the bar and like paring it back a little bit on the menu. You know, like it'll be like a gin and tonic. They're gonna do a bamboo, which is like an awesome like gin martini variation, but instead of gin, it's sherry, so it's like kind of a lower proof, but still like beautiful drinking cocktail. And they've got some good ideas, and I'm super excited. It's like kind of that transition was just sort of the right time for me to like step back and kind of like pass the bar.
Look what he did, though. Killed it with that
I knew
one.
that name was
Nailed
a
it.
fucking hit.
Because it's the name of the podcast.
Nailed it.
That's exactly what the name of the podcast is. Yeah. So you're going to be soon moving on to new and exciting things.
Yeah, I get to go. So I ran the spirits program at the Main downtown for a couple years, and while I was there, I got to work with Bethany, technically Honecker, but she still kept her maiden name Morris, as the sommelier, and then the chef Brent Cowan, and working with them was awesome. Brent was like always the homie. Like when we would do some like spirit flights or whatever, we had some regulars who'd call me and they're like, hey, we have a special occasion, can you like set up, we're interested in Japanese whiskeys, can you just come like talk to us about Japanese whiskey for a while, and or like we want cocktails, we want to try like a bunch of gin cocktails or something like that. And the first time I mentioned that to Brent, he's like, oh fuck yeah, he's like, do they want snacks? You want to do snacks for it? Like, do you want to paired plates? He's like,
Paired plates with each one.
he's like, what time are they coming in? And I'm like 7:30, 7:45, and he's like, it's only 4:30 now. We got time. Like, let's taste these things. Like, let's do it. And great. Bethany is like an incredible wine mind, and we work really well together as like excellent foils, because like I'm a little more dynamic and impulse driven.
Yeah.
And trying to put positive spin on a lot of my negative qualities, and she's like very like spreadsheets. Let's lay it out. Like, let's be organized and like plan of attack.
Right.
So I like to think like I bring a little levity to her thing, and she kind of keeps me grounded.
It's balance. That's
Yeah.
I was going to say,
yin
yeah,
thing.
between the two of you,
gotta have
that's
it.
a perfect combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she'll be the general manager and wine director, because we'll have probably other sommeliers, hopefully myself included, sometime soon.
What
But-
level are you?
So I like Bethany's husband actually is Ian and has been in wine forever. And my favorite is like people asking me, he's like, "What level sum are you?" And he's like, "Fucking a million." Like, what do you? He's like, "I know more about wine than you. Like, what else do you know?"
Don't
He's
fuck
like,
yourself.
He's like,
I know a
he's
lot.
Like, I know what I'm talking about. I don't need a pin. But no, like I'll probably like get certified for the hell of it. But I haven't done any of that. I've like
And I wasn't trying to say that. You know what I mean?
trying to buck on me.
That's-
Yeah.
no, that's
Well,
good.
No,
you, Steven.
no, not at all. Yeah, I'm not certified.
No, I did like I have some spirit certification stuff, and I did like the certified beer server kind of thing. But wine has always been something that like I want to know enough about to like talk to
To have a conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy wine, but I don't like lifestyle love wine.
Got you.
Yeah.
And I feel like you either are in love with that or you're not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the people who love wine, it's like they will talk your ear off.
Yeah.
All day long.
Let me
you
tell
know?
you. Let me tell you.
But
about
same thing
the
with whiskey. You know, like
tannins.
people who love whiskey.
I drink. I like a Rioja. I don't know if that.
Love Rioja.
Yeah, that's like
awesome.
that's my go-to red wine.
Hell yeah.
Nice bottle of Chianti.
Spanish wine all day. That's it. That's all I got though. That's all I got for that. I don't drink white wine. I drink like Spanish reds.
Oh, there's so much fun white wine though. Like I like there's like some really like high acid like not necessarily wine drinkers white wine. So and so this is just like what I was gonna say. It's like I don't know enough about wine to like teach a class on it.
Right.
But because of like the kind of spotted learning I have, it means I'm into like dickhead wine. I'm like, oh, cool. Do you have anything that's like super high acid from the Basque? Like, no, that's cool. I'll have a gin and tonic.
So can you speak on this new project that you work on or not yet?
Yeah, no, for sure.
What's it?
So it'll be the old landing space. So,
Oh, cool.
Out like by the Virginia Beach courthouse. We're putting like a solid amount of renovation into it. Like the exact words from the owner was, "We don't want it to look like the landing with like a facelift."
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's a nice space.
yeah,
That's
Oh, yeah.
That's not far from where I'm working now.
yeah. I mean,
That's awesome.
it's going to be farm to table in the sense that we can like bike to 4 farms like from
Right.
where we are. I get to honestly what I'm most excited about is I get to do like a little scaled back like more classic and technique driven bar program because like there hasn't been like really a cocktail spot out there.
Yeah.
And at least for the bar side, it's just going to be like super accessible. It's like if you come in all the time, you're like, "Hey man, these cocktails are cool. I really like Stolio and soda. Like, if you're coming in, I'd really like you to have it on the back bar." It's like, yeah, absolutely. We
Yeah,
have tons
for
of
sure.
space. No problem. If you drink Bud Light Lime and you really like spending time with us, like I'll get you some Bud Light Lime, player.
Yeah.
Like first I'll try muddling some lime peel into like a bottom of a glass and pouring a Bud Light on it.
Right.
But if that doesn't do it for you,
Yeah.
I'll get you I'll get you what you
Right.
need.
Because you know why? Because I want you.
And I love that.
I respect
And I
what you-
feel like
I
as
respect your
as an an owner or bar,
Right.
I like that you're having that because I
Yeah.
lived in San Diego, and I'm not trying to shit on this bar because they did it very well. But Magnolia downtown, it's in like Gaslamp area, specialty mixed drink mixology bar. Everything took about 5-10 minutes. It was like we're firing the mint leaf, rubbing it out, sugar straw. You know what I'm saying? Like they do it well,
I hate
but
when I'm trying to get a drink and my bartender's rubbing it out behind the bar.
But what I was saying is they were not accommodating.
Right,
Like going back to what you were saying earlier, Evan, it was one of those, "Can I just get a Bud Light?" And they would look at you with disdain.
And like,
And you're like, "Come on." You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to shit on your company. You know what I mean? Just that's what I drink. You know, but they didn't accept that. It was one of
Yeah.
those, get out if you're not going to order one of our specialty drinks.
So
I love that you're, being accepting and open to that because I
Yeah.
feel like that's business suicide if you don't offer Bud Light.
not
or,
only that,
you know,
like it's
that's not me,
personal.
but-
Like it means you're a bad person. Like if you feel that, that's like if someone came to your house and you're like, "Ooh, I mean, food takes a little longer," but if you're like, "Hey, we've got this wine," and they're like, "Actually, man, like you got orange juice," and you're like, "Well, I fucking have this." Like, what do you mean you don't want this?
Right.
It's like, nah, player. I would just really like a glass of orange juice.
Yeah, it's just you're a piece of shit.
But then also, like, if you think about, like, so we were talking earlier about, like, a tiki bar and how, like, other people come up and it's, like, kind of like a little more, like, country bar kind of style. It's like, dude, I would love to make you a cocktail. Like, nothing would make me happier
Yeah.
than to make you a dope cocktail that you love. But if I can make you just as happy by opening a beer, perfect.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that's
Right.
what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
We want your guests to have a good time.
Yeah.
So what does it matter?
My all-time favorite line is bartenders serve customers, not cocktails.
That's
well
it.
said.
Yep.
And like